Hey everybody, welcome to another YDFLive show. My name is Stephen Aitchison, creator of YourDigitalFormula.com, a program to help you live your passion, grow your tribe, and build your business. Today is talking about finding your why, especially for your business. And this is video day today. So on a Monday, I kind of show you a video relating to business and kind of relating to a topic that I'm really interested in. I think will be really interesting for you as well. So today we're talking about finding your why for your business. Now, when you go into business for the first time, if it's an online business or an offline business, it doesn't matter what type of business it is, usually your why it's all about yourself. You usually kind of think about yourself, and it's all about you want to start a business so you can empower yourself, so you have more freedom, so you've got more time with your family. It never really works out that way. I don't know why people say that. You never end up spending more time with the family when you've got your own business. Not at the beginning anyway. But that's the kind of reasons that people come up with. It's usually a kind of an internal kind of source of why. This is why you want to start your business. But as your business grows, things begin to develop and change. So your why begins to change as well. And that's what the video is about today. It's a video from Simon Sinek, and it's a brilliant video from TED Talk. But as I said, the why begins to change as you grow your business. So my why for starting kind of my online business way back in 2006 was the freedom. I wanted freedom. I didn't want to work in the corporate world anymore. I was bored down my head. I was dying inside. My soul was dying. And I wanted to start something that I was really passionate about. But it was all about me. It was all about why I wanted to start a business. And then as I was getting closer to giving up my full-time job, it was about, okay, how do I get more money in to grow the business so I can give up my full-time job? Again, it was all about me. But then, and I've mentioned this story loads of times before, when you turn it around, when you turn the mindset around to kind of stop going from, okay, it's all about me, and asking, how can I give my customers more? How can I better serve my customers? How can I serve better? How can I produce better products for the customers? And when you start thinking from that point of view, your why changes as well. Because your why then becomes, okay, you want to make a difference in the world. You want to help people change their lives. You want to empower other people so they can make a difference in their lives. And they then go on to help other people to make a difference in their lives. So you've got that ripple effect kind of literally going throughout the world when you start your online business. And when your why changes to be more customer focused, then that's when your business starts to change as well. But you've got to find out why you're doing what you're doing. You've got to ask that question. What's the bigger picture? What's your mission? What's your vision for doing what you're doing? And for YDF Scotland as well, we've got YDF Scotland coming up in June. I've just showed you the kind of trailer for that as well. The mission there is to empower other entrepreneurs to kind of go online, make a business, grow a business, but also to empower them to empower other people. So although we might have 150 people coming to YDF Scotland or 100 people, doesn't matter how many, we're not only reaching 100 people, because those 100 people are reaching maybe another 100 people in their circle. And then those 100 people are going to be reaching another 100 people. So we're literally touching thousands and millions of lives. And that's what we're doing kind of with YDF Scotland. It's all about the bigger picture. It's all about leaving your legacy. It's all about empowering others, and your why changes. And that's what this kind of video is about today. And I think it's a really good question to ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Because pretty soon it doesn't become just about the money. The money becomes almost irrelevant. You have to make money in order to kind of give up your full-time job if that's what you do. Totally understand that, and that's the situation I've been in for years before I started making money. And then I started making money and I gave up my full-time job and done this full-time online. But the money then becomes irrelevant. Once you get enough money in to cover your mortgage, to put food on the table and stuff, there's a bigger reason, there's a bigger picture there. It's not just about you anymore. It's about changing people's lives. And that's what business is about. That's what personal development is about as well. Anybody that does personal development speaking or anything like that, or business speaking, you're really changing other people's lives so they can then go out and change other people's lives as well. And that's your bigger picture. I'll just read some comments before we go to the video just now. The comments are jumping all over the place. Okay. Mary Blando is saying, thanks for sharing your thoughts. Thank you very much for turning up for the show. Really appreciate it. I don't know what's going on with the comments. Al Hayek, Amit, you're amazing, man, and thought. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate you saying that. I've got a lot of kind of buys. Josephine Romeo Alburo, I love you so much, Stephen. Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate you saying that. And thanks for turning up for the show today. Okay, we're going to go on with the video just now. And it's from Simon Sinek, as I said. And it's all about the why, but it's he's kind of entitled it Inspiring. How do you inspire as a leader? But really, for me, that video was about the kind of the big picture, the big why that you need to ask yourself in business. So we'll get on with that just now and see what you think afterwards.
How do you explain when things don't go as we assume? Or better, how do you explain when others are able to achieve things that seem to defy all of the assumptions? For example, why is Apple so innovative? Year after year after year after year, they're more innovative than all their competition. And yet, they're just a computer company. They're just like everyone else. They have the same access to the same talent, the same agencies, the same consultants, the same media. Then why is it that they seem to have something different? Why is it that Martin Luther King led the civil rights movement? He wasn't the only man who suffered in a pre-civil rights America, and he certainly wasn't the only great orator of the day. Why him? And why is it that the Wright brothers were able to figure out controlled powered manned flight when there were certainly other teams who were better qualified, better funded, and they didn't achieve powered manned flight, and the Wright brothers beat them to it? There's something else at play here. About 3.5 years ago, I made a discovery. And this discovery profoundly changed my view on how I thought the world worked, and it even profoundly changed the way in which I operate in it. As it turns out, there's a pattern. As it turns out, all the great and inspiring leaders and organizations in the world, whether it's Apple or Martin Luther King or the Wright brothers, they all think, act, and communicate the exact same way, and it's the complete opposite to everyone else. All I did was codify it. And it's probably the world's simplest idea. I call it the golden circle. Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't. Let me define the terms really quickly. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiating value proposition or your proprietary process or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care? Well, as a result, the way we think, the way we act, the way we communicate is from the outside in. It's obvious. We go from the clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. But the inspired leaders and the inspired organizations, regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out. Let me give you an example. I use Apple because they're easy to understand and everybody gets it. If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Meh. And that's how most of us communicate. That's how most marketing is done, that's how most sales is done, and that's how most of us communicate interpersonally. We say what we do, we say how we're different or how we're better, and we expect some sort of behavior, a purchase, a vote, something like that. Here's our new law firm. We have the best lawyers with the biggest clients. We have, we always perform for our clients, do business with us. Here's our new car. It gets great gas mileage. It has, leather seats. Buy our car. But it's uninspiring. Here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different, right? You're ready to buy a computer from me. All I did was reverse the order of the information. What it proves to us is that people don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This explains why every single person in this room is perfectly comfortable buying a computer from Apple. But we're also perfectly comfortable buying an MP3 player from Apple, or a phone from Apple, or a DVR from Apple. But as I said before, Apple's just a computer company. There's nothing that distinguishes them structurally from any of their competitors. Their competitors are all equally qualified to make all of these products. In fact, they tried. A few years ago, Gateway came out with flat-screen TVs. They're eminently qualified to make flat-screen TVs. They've been making flat-screen monitors for years. Nobody bought one. And Dell came out with MP3 players and PDAs. And they make great quality products, and they can make perfectly well-designed products, and nobody bought one. In fact, talking about it now, we can't even imagine buying an MP3 player from Dell. Why would you buy an MP3 player from a computer company? But we do it every day. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. The goal is not to do business with everybody who needs what you have. The goal is to do business with people who believe what you believe. Here's the best part. None of what I'm telling you is my opinion. It's all grounded in the tenets of biology, not psychology, biology. If you look at a cross-section of the human brain, looking from the top down, what you see is the human brain is actually broken into three major components that correlate perfectly with the golden circle. Our newest brain, our Homo sapien brain, our neocortex, corresponds with the what level. The neocortex is responsible for all of our rational and analytical thought and language. The middle two sections make up our limbic brains, and our limbic brains are responsible for all of our feelings, like trust and loyalty. It's also responsible for all human behavior, all decision-making, and it has no capacity for language. In other words, when we communicate from the outside in, yes, people can understand vast amounts of complicated information like features and benefits and facts and figures. It just doesn't drive behavior. When we communicate from the inside out, we're talking directly to the part of the brain that controls behavior, and then we allow people to rationalize it with the tangible things we say and do. This is where gut decisions come from. Sometimes you can give somebody all the facts and your figures, and they say, I know what all the facts and details say, but it just doesn't feel right. Why would we use that verb? It doesn't feel right. Because the part of the brain that controls decision-making doesn't control language. And the best we can muster up is, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Or sometimes you say you're leading with your heart or you're leading with your soul. Well, I hate to break it to you, those aren't other body parts controlling your behavior. It's all happening here in your limbic brain, the part of the brain that controls decision-making and not language. But if you don't know why you do what you do, and people respond to why you do what you do, then how will you ever get people to vote for you or buy something from you, or more importantly, be loyal and want to be a part of what it is that you do? Again, the goal is not just to sell people who need what you have. The goal is to sell to people who believe what you believe. The goal is not just to hire people who need a job. It's to hire people who believe what you believe. I always say that, if you hire people just because they can do a job, they'll work for your money. But if you hire people who believe what you believe, they work for you with blood and sweat and tears. And nowhere else is there a better example of this than with the Wright brothers. Most people don't know about Samuel Pierpont Langley. And back in the early 20th century, the pursuit of powered man flight was like the dot-com of the day. Everybody was trying it. And Samuel Pierpont Langley had what we assume to be the recipe for success. I mean, even now, you ask people, why did your product or why did your company fail? And people always give you the same permutation of the same three things. Undercapitalized, the wrong people, bad market conditions. It's always the same three things. So let's explore that. Samuel Pierpont Langley was given $50,000 by the War Department to figure out this flying machine. Money was no problem. He held a seat at Harvard and worked at the Smithsonian and was extremely well connected. How do you explain when things don't go as we assume? Or how do you explain when things don't go as we assume? Or better, how do you explain when others are able to achieve things that seem to defy all of the assumptions? For example, why is Apple so innovative?